Welcome back. Is performance pay advantageous to our children's education? Well, Miami-Dade County recently implemented performance pay for teachers. And I want to make sure that I explain this very well so that we all understand. It doesn't affect the base pay of the teachers here in Dade County. These are performance pay, extra incentives for teachers. So teachers that whose students perform very well on exams will get stipends. In fact, there's an alleged $14 million that would be given out for teachers that students do very well.
Yes, correct. And it is, you said it right there perfectly fine, Natasha. It's an incentive. It's what it is for teachers. It's so important for teachers to have an incentive, I believe, that they're going to get paid a better pay according to student test scores. So by school, if a school has overall better test scores, then those teachers in that school are probably going to make a better pay.
Right. I agree with that. But, you know, Vanessa, I want to ask you and Samantha something. How fair is that? Because I think students perform different in different area codes. Okay? I want to believe the students in Pinecrest, whose parents are more educated, have the money for tutoring and things of that sort, versus some of the areas in Miami Gardens where there's single-family homes, the parents don't have the time to sit down and do homework with them. These teachers are at a disadvantage.
Yes.
So automatically, these stipends are going to go to the area codes like Pinecrest and things of that sort.
Yeah,
that is true. Like, parents do have a big say, and you know, they help out with homework at home, but also a teacher can make the difference. And for those teachers that do make the difference, I think it's great that they can get rewarded for it.
Yeah,
I agree.
But they will have to work a little bit harder.
Yeah, I think it's definitely an idea that's being talked about. Nothing's set in stone yet. That's why they're talking about it and putting it out there and seeing the feedback, because it is very important before diving into it, seeing what people have to say about this. And I definitely agree with what you're saying. That's an amazing point. According to, you know, areas and the schools and all that, it can definitely, you know, differentiate how the students are going to become better students, or whatever is going on at home and all the different influences. But maybe the way they might set this up, it might not be that they reach a total score, but maybe an improvement. So maybe see what school has done better improvements. Maybe, like for example, one school, they can take their previous test scores. Right. You know, instead of, do you get what I'm saying? Instead of saying they have to reach this test score, maybe seeing per school their area and improvement.
And I was thinking about that too.
I
was thinking that too. I was wondering how they're going to allocate these monies and what kind of, and how are they going to determine when a school does better, or is it just an overall throughout the entire Miami-Dade County they're going to base these test scores on? Because I think that would be a beautiful incentive for a school that was a low-grade school, and now the teachers, they're performing, the test scores are performing well, to give those students, those teachers, an incentive.
Yeah.
Rather than just constantly giving the teachers who are at the best schools with the best students the incentives all the time.
Well, that wouldn't be fair at all.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it would be fair, and that's why I think it would be a better idea to take it that way, improvement versus their test scores.
I agree. I agree.
Which is going to be very interesting to see how they're going to work it out. But I think teachers do deserve something. I mean, the teachers work so hard. You know,
and they don't really get compensated.
They don't get compensated.
We keep hearing of just cuts and cuts and cuts, and you know, never an incentive, never really a raise. And what's happening? You know, the children are the future.
Yes,
they're the future of our nation. You know?
My mother is a teacher, and I see firsthand how hard it is for teachers to, you know, teach children. There's so many different factors that come into play when it comes to teaching our children. And I don't think teachers alone can teach. To me, it takes a village to raise a child, and I truly believe in that proverb. It takes a village indeed. Teachers can only do but so much, but parents have to take part in order to bring out the best in that child.
Oh, yes.
The thing that I must say is that Miami-Dade County is the first to have this performance pay within the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Broward County is looking at it currently. They haven't agreed to it, but if they don't make an agreement with the teachers' unions very soon, they're looking at losing, I want to believe, about federal funds in the amount of $30 million.
Yeah, that's
tremendous.
That's a big number right there. but they haven't decided yet. They're looking into it. It hasn't gone through with Broward. So yes, we will be the first one. So I guess once again, we're going to be the guinea pigs in something else.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm going to be optimistic. Let's see what
Yeah,
happens.
I think we should be optimistic and definitely look out for the teachers and see what kind of other incentive, if this doesn't work out, what other incentive we can maybe do for the teachers.
Absolutely.
It's in their best interest, and it's also in the best interest of the children, most of all, because it's going to definitely, you're going to see an improvement. You're definitely gonna see an improvement.
You know, I'm even wondering, a lot of this stuff sometimes is so political. Are teachers going to cheat? You know what I mean? Are they going to get those tests and give it to the kids so that their school can be the best performing school? I don't know. Is that going to promote teachers to kind of do things that they usually don't do? I'm not really sure about that, because I find that to be huge. And a lot of schools, you know, a lot of people are political in Miami-Dade County, and teachers are involved with that kind of politics. So is it going to cause them to do underhanded things too?
Yeah, well, I don't know, and that's opening a whole can of worms. And I rather believe in the teachers and say, let's believe it and let's trust the teachers. But on a whole different topic, I want to talk about a very interesting study, and it's about the baby boomers and wine drinking. Now, we all know a glass of wine is great for everyone. 1 glass of wine a day is great to prevent heart disease. We all know that.
Right.
But in a recent study, it's saying these baby boomers are taking advantage of alcohol. So
they're not drinking 1 glass a day, they're drinking 20?
Yeah, they're drinking too much wine.
There should be a limit when it comes to that.
Sorry, go ahead, Samantha.
I come from a family of drinkers. I mean, the women, the men, no, not alcoholics, but like, you know, my grandmother, now that she's very healthy, she likes to have her daily drink. But it's true. I mean, when is there that limit? Because it's usually not 1 glass of wine. It's 2, 3, or sometimes a little vodka drink. So when it gets to that, there's going to be a negative impact on your health, obviously. You know, it's alcohol.
I think anything in excess is too much, and I think we need to, you know, use our discretion at all times, especially when it comes to alcohol, because it can become addictive, and all kind of ailments can be caused from you being abusive with alcohol and things of that sort. But you know, 1 cup of wine a day, I hear them say all the 1 glass of wine a day, correct, is good for you. But I'm glad that I'm not an alcoholic. Literally no one in my family drinks. My mother, father, no one drinks. So I'm going to have to choose something else instead of 1 glass of wine a day, probably an apple a day.
Yeah, an apple stick to that.
I have a glass of wine every day.
Stick to an apple a day, or
An
just
apple
1
a
glass of
day.
wine. But unfortunately, we have to cut to break. But we have a very, very special surprise for you when we get back. Friends Forever, a nonprofit organization, is here joining us today. So stay tuned, and you'll hear all about them coming up next.
All right.